Before I begin, thank you so much for this opportunity to study abroad through semester at sea. I am very committed to the core values semester at sea tries to instill in their students and the large role diversity plays in the fruition of these goals.
Diversity is extremely important to me personally. I come from a biracial, bicultural household, and while I feel very connected to my Jewish heritage, growing up, there was a vacuum in half of my cultural identity. My father was Mexican, but he grew up in Los Angeles in a xenophobic period of America's history when people didn't really accept his different customs. His parents were encouraged to Americanize him as quickly as possible. He never even learned Spanish, though it was his parents' first language. So his lack of culture instilled in me a desire to learn my roots. At times, it was hard for me to reconcile these disparate parts of my identity, and at times, harder for other people to understand it. So for this reason, I'm incredibly passionate about creating cultural opportunities and promotion of cross-cultural understanding. Thus, the effects of a societal aversion to diversity influenced me from my childhood to today. Because of these negative experiences, I'm committed to bringing positive change. I have taken steps to deepen my understanding of other cultures in my daily life as a student at Florida State University. During my first 2 years, I chose volunteer opportunities that would empower underrepresented minorities and expose me to cultures different from my own. I volunteered weekly, mentoring children from low-income communities, teaching them how to read and to employ valuable academic success skills. I also traveled around the country with alternative break. For spring break 2010, I traveled to a very rural and impoverished part of the country, Kincaid, West Virginia, which isn't even represented on a map. While there, I helped to build classrooms for mining families. This work exposed me to isolated mountain life, as well as the struggle and sense of community that it entails. This year, for spring break, I went to Indianapolis to work with Bosma Enterprises, which teaches rehabilitation to people who are blind or visually impaired, helping them to secure jobs or continue their degrees. Ability status is an important aspect of diversity that is often overlooked, and this experience allowed me to understand what life is like for someone who is differently abled.
I also plan to utilize this understanding of cultural, religious, sexual orientation, educational, and geographical diversity in my career. Currently, I'm a double major in finance and economics. Both of these subjects take place at a global level, and eventually I want to be effective as an international economist. To do this, I need to know how people's customs and cultural inclinations affect the economy. More importantly, I want to use this understanding to better their situation. My ultimate ambition is to work in emerging nations. That's one reason I'm so excited about this particular voyage. It focuses on countries with developing economies.
An effective tool in achieving this goal is microfinancing. This practice of lending small amounts of money to individuals in developing economies recognizes and utilizes the diversity of their citizens. Each microfinancing project brings together donors and aid recipients, forming a global community and promoting profound cross-cultural awareness. Semester at Sea is an important step in my exposure to cross-cultural financial relationships. For example, located at the port in Takoradi, Ghana, is a community of women seeking microfinancers to buy land to stabilize their palm kernel oil production business. I would like to meet these women so I can understand and witness a beneficiary community as my education in and implementation of microfinancing will occur in a donor nation.
Thus, through this trip, I can truly become a global citizen, understanding diversity on a personal, community, and global level.